Hi, everyone. Wanted to share another episode um, of my life with you all. This is going to be a little bit deeper story about Sean uh, and my relationship with him over 6.5 years. Um, it's going to be delving into some areas of abuse, um, and I wanted to share this chapter of my life in more detail. So I'm going to start from the beginning. When we first met in 2015, uh, as a lot of gay boys do, they meet people online. So I met Sean on Grindr, and it was a very attractive picture of him online. And so I asked him out to dinner, and that was the beginning of our relationship. Um, and it started off really wonderful the first year. Um, so getting to know each other, getting to hopefully, well, I think, love each other, but in hindsight, maybe it wasn't really love at all. Um, and so, yeah, the first year was pretty good. I ended up being asked to go to his nephew's graduation. I not met the family as of yet, and I was a little trepidatious. And the graduation was across the pond in Seattle, and it took a while to get there, about an hour, and then the graduation 3 hours. Uh, when I went there to meet his family, um, it was quite surprising. Um, Sean did not introduce me to his family, nor did they come up and ask my name or anything. So I was there um, waiting on us to go home because I had to work at 6 o'clock in the morning for Army Corps of Engineers. And I was like, it was rolling around 1 o'clock, and I was like, Sean, I need to go home. I had to get up. He was not working at the time. He had just been fired from Fred Meyer a few months prior, so I was taking care of us. And I was just like, I really need to get home and get some sleep. I know you don't have to get up, but I have to. And eventually I got him convinced around 1:15 to go take me home, take us home. And shortly after we get on the road, his nephew calls and says he finally found out how to get back to his grandparents' house. I was like, haven't you ever been there before? But he got lost for a few hours. I suspect he was going to a after graduation party, but I have no proof of that. But in any case, we're on the road back to Seattle, and gets a call from his nephew saying he finally found his way home. And Sean wanted to turn around. I was like, I've got to get up in the morning in 5 hours, 4.5, and no respect. And I was just like, okay. His family doesn't, I don't get any introduction to his family. And I'm kind of like, okay. So anyway, yeah, that was a bit of a pill to take. Never knew his family in 6.5 years at all. Um, and it was sad. But yeah, during 2015 and 16, that's what was happening. I mean, 15 was great. 16 was the beginning of the end. Because I noticed behaviors that were off. I suspected a couple things. We did get into an argument in Seattle um, in 16, late at 16, and that's when he snapped. And when we had the argument, he comes after me with his hands and tries to strangle me. He didn't want any bruises, so he only strangled me for a couple seconds. I was like, huh, okay. But my parents had always taught me to try and stick it out through thick and thin. And that's what I had chosen to do. A lot of people would have called the police. I should have. And for all of you listening, please immediately get help. Don't wait. Don't be like me. One that thinks that they can try and save the day, save a relationship. Don't do it. Just immediately get help for yourself and get out of that situation. So, after the strangling the first time, I was like, didn't know what to do. Because I was told to try and keep it together. Stick it throughout thick and thin. I was put in a box of fear at that point. Afraid for my life. Afraid for what was to happen. So he apologized, he cried, said he would never do it again. Never believe that. Please don't ever believe that. Because this was the beginning of 41 times of abuse. I'm only going to share the major ones with my broken eye, my broken ribs, and a knife wound. These are the major ones I can share. There's many others. Many, many, many others. And any single one of them, I should have called 911. Please do. On your behalf. For your safety and salvation. Get out of that situation. I did. You can too. So, move on to me getting an offer from LA. Sean was off work. He had just also been fired from cricket, which he lied to his employers about, that he got fired from Fred Meyer and got fired from cricket. He lied to them. He disclosed that to me. So it was just a telltale sign of bad things to come. And so I went, okay. He was off work. I was supporting us. I got an opportunity to go to LA. He always wanted to go to California. So I said, sure, let me give up on my job to help you find your job. And that's what I did. I gave up a wonderful government career. Well, I transferred down to LA with Army Corps of Engineers, but basically giving up on a wonderful job that I had with wonderful employees. So we traveled down to LA. And that's where more abuse happened. I'd already suspected that he was cheating on me. Little did I know until 2017 that I found out the truth, that he was cheating on me. So he basically was cheating on me 4 out of 6.5 years. The reason I say that, in 2017, I came across a gift receipt, or a receipt from Tiffany's. February 9th, 2017. He had bought a wonderful pendant from Tiffany's for somebody. It wasn't me. Instead, I found another receipt that everything he bought for Valentine's Day was from Rite Aid. I didn't get any Tiffany anything. Not during the entire 6.5 years being with him. Only abuse. And so they're in Los Angeles, staying in an apartment in Flowering, Wilshire. Rolls around, we have another argument. This time he takes it a step level higher. Chases after me, throws me on the bed, strangling me. Again, not long enough to cause bruises. And so that's what happened. I was like, wow. This is supposedly a person that says he knows how to be a partner. Not when you're attacking and abusing another. And he chased after me, strangled me, threw me on the bed, and stopped. A few months later, we got into another argument. And he punches me in the eye. I was just like, now I have a black eye. I know I should have called the police then. That's why I'm trying to ask all of you that have been abused or being abused, get immediate help. It's not going to get any better. So, after the bruised eye, I was very verklempt, going like, well, now what? But I still battled it through. One part of the story when we were in Seattle and he was laid off work, or fired from work actually. And he was at home with us, or at home. He enjoyed his drugs and alcohol. I would go to the dispensary. He would come with, and we would partake at home, right on the stoop on First Avenue, right in front of Puget Sound. And he drugged and alcohol, as I did. So when he proclaims that he has never taken drugs or alcohol, he's lying. And which is stated he's never taken any, which I have proof of everything. All the drugs he took, all the alcohol he took, I have proof of everything. So that was disconcerting. So 2018 was fairly calm. 2019, though, was a turning point. I just couldn't believe how much anger he has within him. I have one video where he actually discloses how much he couldn't believe how much he could hurt his brother and sister when they were growing up. I was like, oh, okay. You're admitting to beating up your brother and sister to me. Okay. All right. So, 2019 rolls around, beginning of COVID. We get into another argument, because I already know he's been cheating. And I accused him of that. Get into a verbal argument. Next thing I know, I'm being pushed, and I'm standing right next to the TV and TV stand. And he pushes me back onto the table, the TV stand. And I fall down and break my ribs. He then, while I'm on the floor, decides to take the 55-inch screen TV and throw it over on top of me. Now, he's already attacked a federal officer, federal employee, multiple times by now, which is big trouble. But he did it. I can truth serum, lie detector test, everything is true. That's what he did. He broke my ribs. He got laid off during COVID. He got let go to stay at home. So I'm thinking the whole time, it's like I can't even move out of the bed with all of these 3 broken ribs that he caused. And I'm like, this is awful because he's staying at home with me. So I have to live with my abuser right next to me for 3 months. Can you imagine what that's like? To be lined up in bed and the person that attacked you and abused you is right there with you. I know, crazy, right? But it is my reality. It's my truth. It is what happened to me. And I was just like, he wouldn't even help me get to the bathroom. I had to crawl to the bathroom. And I was just like, this is horrible. So, 2020 arrives with him. And I'm just like, I can no longer tolerate this. It's too much abuse. Too much caused by Sean. And I gotta figure a way out. So I did what I had to do. And by 2021, I was able to get up the courage to stand up, fight for myself, fight back, and get out. Which I did. And I hope anybody that's listening, stand up for yourself, fight, and get out. So if I can do it and survive, and still be alive, I think that's pretty wonderful. And that's what I'm wishing for all of you out there that are being abused right now. Please get help. Call 911. Call a friend. Get yourself out of the situation. That's what I did. I had to do in order to survive. Because they had threatened to kill me. So, please take heed and get help, get out, and survive. I did it, you can do it. In 2018, we moved to Palm Springs, and he was remotely working with Aerial Connect at the house. Then he started to look for a new job. That one with Angel View. At the exact time period that he was accepting his job with Angel View, he had also accosted me, taken a knife and slashed my arm. You'll see a picture of that. And I called the police on him. Well, a friend called the police. I was too weak, didn't know what to do. My friend Mark called the police on my behalf to help me out that night. So all the meanwhile, he's going through acceptance or accepting the job at Angel View. And I had him arrested. And I felt bad because he had just now accepted the job. I didn't want him to lose it. So I sacrificed myself. I said, no, I don't. Let's not file charges. Big mistake. Don't ever do that. Anybody that's listening, don't do that. Go ahead and press charges. Go through with it. It will only help save your life in the end, as it did for me. So he got arrested. taken away for 5 days, but still got the job. I don't know how Angel View got that through. And I was really shocked because I had him arrested and filed charges, filed a restraining order, everything to get him away from me. It didn't work, but I gave it my best attempt. And all of you out there listening, press forward. Because I didn't want to file charges, that's the reason I couldn't get the restraining order, I couldn't do anything else. So that's what I'm telling everybody out there. If you've been abused, get them convicted. Because it's not worth risking your life anymore. And nope, he got on with Angel View. And to this day, I'm still surprised about that company. How they could hire on a person that they've known has been arrested. How could they do that? Knowing that they're jeopardizing my life every day I'm around him when he comes home. He is totally a jackal. He has totally two different faces. He has one for work and one for home. I had to suffer with the one at home. You guys out there that are being abused right now, don't take it anymore. Get up, get out, and move on. So just wanting you guys to know there's more to life than being abused all the time. There is a life out there for you. A wonderful life. Just have to take heedance in the power within.